Hi Stampin' friends! Today I want to show you how to make this cute little candy wrapper, and it is made with a die from the Big Shot. So I'm going to show you most of the parts to it, but some of the details, I'll leave that to yourself to figure it out. So the first thing you start off with, of course, is your Big Shot, and you need just your standard cutting plate, the new candy wrapper die, which is exclusive to Stampin' Up. And one of the cool things is Stampin' Up, which I just recently found out, has over 71 exclusive just to Stampin' Up dies. So that's kind of a cool little need to know thing. Anyways, I cut mine very close to the size that I need. I'm very cheap with my cardstock, and anyways, this is a 5" by 6" piece of cardstock. Just going to run it through my Big Shot. I'm always trying to save that last inch scrap, but when you do run through a piece that's pretty close to that size, you have to be very careful that you don't cut off an edge or miss something. So just line it up carefully and take a look before it runs through. And when your die is new, sometimes you pick up some of these little black foamy pieces, but that's kind of what happens when the die is new. So you end up with this, and what I recommend is first thing is you want to crease all your score lines nice and tight. And I'm just going to give you the basic look to this little one where the ends of it are left flat. And I'll show you an option at the end that you can make it a little more cutesy, but it takes a little more hand folding and all that. So when it's flat, don't worry about what you're going to put in it yet, but I fold over just the one edge that has the little crease line there. And my favorite new all-purpose multi-glue everything with this, cards and everything, but even more than sometimes, oops, got some of the inside there, than the sticky strip, which has usually been my go-to, make sure that everything sticks, kind of adhesive. But I do like this Tombow multi-glue because it really does take a sticking and doesn't come apart. So anyways, I got that stuck together there. Have my basic kind of tube, and notice I did crease just those side lines. And actually, when you just push together, it does crease those little side angled kind of pieces, and you can leave it just flat. So they kind of come together, and you don't have to do too much on those ends to make them nice and flat. So the rest of this here is just going to be to add a strip of paper around the center, which I just glued. And I'll show you a little hint on that. Excuse my reach. I find where I want the back to be, and then as I go along, I kind of open it back up and keep it flat while I'm doing all this sticking stuff. But I keep in mind that I want it down the center, give it a crease here. Before I stick it and everything, though, I give it all these creases, and give it a crease here. So these pieces haven't been stuck down yet. They're just kind of there, but getting some creases along the way. Otherwise, once it's open and maybe something's in it or not something in it yet, if you try to crease along the way, it gets a little bit tricky and kind of wants to smush the box. So I do it while it's flat, give it those creases along the way. Now that it has all those, I didn't have to score all those parts, but then I can give it some glue, a little bit here and there, more on the ends. Again, lined up to where I want my back to be. Sometimes I'm picky about that stuff. Don't like the crease right in the middle of the front. But make sure it all lines up, and then you have that centerpiece all nice and scored and kind of with some tight lines. Of course, you could use your bone folder, and that would give it even tighter lines. But again, I tie one end then, and then with my ribbon, I'm not going to show you that because you can tie a ribbon, but anyways, I tie the end, put in whatever little treat I want in there, and then I'm going to tie up my other end so I have it in there. And my last little bit would be to stamp and add this little thank you to the front. And I used, of course, my favorite little fabulous phrases, thanks, And I did punch that out with our new medium punch that's in the oval size. So that's kind of quick and done on just a scrap of daffodil. And then I actually used a 1-inch circle to layer on top of that, or underneath that. And I just kind of gave it a little bit of my own distressing tool here along the top and bottom, just so it kind of layers a little bit neater to that. So that's all there is to it. This little guy is really cute all on its own like that, but I did want to show you, here's a Happy Halloween one, and just used designer series papers, fun to make that one, and I did some rub-ons with that. One other thing though that I wanted to show you is that if you do want this one has been played with lots, but if you do want the cute little floofy outside, like my terms there, you do spend a little bit more time with creasing these little single lines in between, and you can kind of push them all out, and it gives it a lot different look for the little candy edges there. But you do just kind of same press towards the middle. You just have to give some more work to the crease lines in between. And so when you get the die, you'll see that. But this is kind of quick and easy version. This one that's been played with a lot, you can get that look by just giving some more score lines to those center pieces within the Candy Favor die. But a different look and kind of fun. So hope you stamped something fun for someone today, and thanks for stopping by.